The first time we went to Cannes was in 1972 with Savages, which was our first American film and I guess the fifth feature we made. And we were in the director's fortnight. It was such a crazy film. It was so unlike the films we had made because in the first place it wasn't made in India, and it was made in upstate New York in an abandoned mansion. And basically the premise of the story was the rise and fall of civilization in one day or one weekend. It was sort of the hot ticket at the director's fortnight, and every one of it was always sold out, and crowds came and you couldn't get in, and windows were broken, and people were squashed. I remember people were squashed between the plate glass door and where they couldn't get out, and the other people going in. At one point, the projectionist lost the reel and never was found. And so we got it. Because of that, we got another screening. Much taken up by people. The French critics loved it, the English critics loved it, American critics wrote terrible things about it and said these nice young men who made these wonderful Indian films, that they could make a piece of junk like this, and on and on. Ismail, this was the first time when we went to Cannes. At this first time, and he did what he always did later on, was to rent a villa. And then we could all stay in the villa, all the people who were connected with the film that wanted to come. And he rented this wonderful villa and gave parties there. And we had all sorts of people staying there, including, I remember the Maharaj of Jodhpur. He was there with his retinue, and Indian food was flown in from London. And through the years, and as we kind of advanced into the world of the studios, the villas got more and more sort of grand, and we could sleep more and more people and have bigger and bigger parties, which are usually crashed by lots of people, and they'd run out of the food. They would never have enough food at our parties for some reason. Very often it was Indian food. Apocalypse Now, and it was being shown for the first time to the public, and that I went to one of those screenings, and that impressed me tremendously. To this day, I'll not forget that film. I think that was probably but you know, I didn't really go to a lot of films when I was at Cannes because it was so impossible to go to them at night. If you went to a film in the competition, you had to put on a tuxedo. There was a whole ticket arrangement, and very often they didn't. If you had a ticket, then they didn't accept it for some reason. You were told you couldn't go in. Sometimes you were thrown out. I remember when Howard's Inn was being shown at the evening performance, it kept breaking down. It's the exact same place in the titles every time. And then a horrible place. Just when Vanessa Redgrave is trailing through those flowers at dusk with her long train going past the flowers, it's a shot everybody remembers. Every time they tried to show it, it would break down just at that point, and then they'd have to fix it and splice it together somehow. And she, meanwhile, when the audience was getting restless, and she meanwhile went down and she spoke in the most perfect fluent French to everybody to calm them and say they were so sorry, we were so sorry, and so on. The most unpleasant experience we ever had at Cannes was when we went there with the Golden Bowl, and that was a film that was being distributed by Harvey Weinstein. And as far as he was concerned, the film was not done. As far as we were concerned, it was done. And he went around and put letters in all the journalist boxes saying that this was a film in progress. It was not a finished film, but it was a finished film. And he really didn't want it to be there, but we showed it despite him. And later on, we got in such problems with him that we bought the film back from him. The first time was Savages, The next time we went there was a few years later with the Europeans, and at that time we were in competition. And then a couple of years after that, we went with Quartet, again in competition, and we won the Best Actress prize with Isabella Gianni. And then after Quartet, we next went with Heat and Dust, and that too was in competition. And a huge bunch of us came, actors and all. And then the next film was Bostonians, and that was in the director's fortnight. But we had Christopher Reeve there with Vanessa Redgrave, with Franco Nero in tow. They made a gorgeous couple, I remember. And then after the Bostonians, the next time we went, I think, was Howard's End in 1992, probably, where I got a kind of made-up prize by them. They wanted to give us a prize because the film was very, very much liked everywhere in the world. It had all sorts of prizes by then, but it didn't win anything in Cannes. So they gave us kind of a special prize just for being there. And then we went, the next time we went was with Jefferson in Paris, again in competition, I believe. And then the next time after that was, I think, The White Countess. We went to the White Countess. And all these films are pretty much in competition. For me, it was watching the transformation of Ismail. From, you know, we were relatively modest as filmmakers when we went there the first time with the Europeans or with the Savages. But then I saw him over the year turn into this tremendous entrepreneur and great party giver and this grand figure who was absolutely at home in this world at Cannes and doing all the things that people do there, that producers do, by raising money for other films and helping other directors to get into Cannes and all the rest of it, entertaining royalty and all the rest of it. And it was just my watching him over the years, and he became this really great presence at Cannes at the end. And so that was a thing I'll never forget.